Hi, my name is Sicily Naso. Today I'll be recording a lesson for an AP English Literature class, 12th grade English. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Okay, AP Lit students, good afternoon. Glad that you're with us today. So we're going to be starting a new activity in our American Dreams and Nightmares unit. Today we're going to be comparing two poems, both of them written by the same author, Langston Hughes. One's called Let America Be America Again, and the other is titled Beaumont to Detroit, 1943. Here's the catch, guys. Both of these poems have the same theme, but they use different tones. Okay, so your objective today is going to be to analyze these, of course, to figure out what the theme is, but to look specifically at how each of these poems employs a different tone to achieve that same message. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you a little bit about the author. Langston Hughes, in case you've never heard of him before, is, or was rather, a very well-known American poet. He was an African-American. He was very heavily involved in social activism. He was a playwright, so known for many different things. I know him most for his poetry. I think you'll see why in just a few minutes. Your essential question for today is, how do the images in the poems communicate Hughes' theme? So remember, we're always trying to look at what techniques we see being used and then analyze how the author is trying to communicate, or what message the author is trying to communicate. All right, let's start with the first one, Let America Be America Again. For the first reading, you can follow along with your digital document, or if you've printed it out, your paper. We are going to listen to this one time. And I want you to think about this question. How does the speaker's emphasis and intonation help you understand the poem? Okay, it's a very dramatic reading, and it may aid your understanding of this poem. Let's go ahead and listen now. Okay. Time for our second reading. This time I'm going to ask you to read the poem silently to yourself. This time I'd like you to make sure that you annotate, and you are either going to be using one of your digital annotation strategies, or if you've printed your copy, your pens, your pencils, and highlighters. And remember, when we annotate, we are trying to keep track of significant ideas. We're circling keywords. We're using some interactive marks to help us stay hooked into the poem. So use question marks, stars, arrows when you see that different ideas or words are connected. And of course, my favorite is those notes that you write to yourself in the margin, those little aha moments. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes now to read this poem to yourself while you annotate. All right. So you've had some time to look at the first poem. Now let's take a look at the second poem, the one that we'll be comparing it to, Beaumont to Detroit, 1943. And this time around, I just realized that says reading number 2. Okay. All right, just a little glitch there. We will be reading this one as a whole class, okay? Again, I want you to annotate while we're reading it this time. Use some of the same strategies that you used the first time through, and always keep in mind that essential question. We're looking for how he uses specific images, and there's of course a tone used in displaying those images, and how that leads to his communication of a certain theme. So let's go ahead and read that together now. All right, guys, I see that we are running out of time. Very quickly, just a reminder about what tone is. Remember that it can be formal, it can be informal, serious. It can take on any of those particular attitudes. And for your homework tonight, what you're going to be doing is writing a very analytical paragraph comparing the tone in these two poems. Make sure to use quotations, quote evidence from the poems where it's called for. You don't have to use this template, but you know, if it helps you to get those ideas out and to hear that academic language, feel free to use this template. And if you are feeling confident, feel free to go out on your own and change the template a little bit to suit your needs. Okay. All right, guys, if you have any questions, you know, you can always reach me on Remind, and I'll be happy to go over it with you. Have a great day.